first project is going to introduce us to several key concepts of 3D modeling, including views, rendering modes, perspective versus orthogonal projections, extrusion, sweeping, 3D symbols, basic lighting, and exporting a final image. So let's get started. Let's open a new file in Vectorworks and save it. Remember that if you have autosave enabled, it won't begin automatically saving until you've manually saved the file the first time. I'm going to save mine as Bert's Project 1. Now let's make sure that you're in the Spotlight workspace. If you aren't familiar with workspaces, they're the way Vectorworks organizes tools by industry. Landscape architects likely don't need the same tools as lighting designers, so the different workspaces are laid out differently and have different tools available. Some of the tools we'll be using this semester are only available in the Spotlight workspace, so always be sure to check that you're working in Spotlight. There is no scenery workspace, so anyone working on an entertainment project will generally work in the Spotlight workspace, even if they aren't working specifically on lighting. Now let's open our palettes if yours aren't open already. You'll want to open Basic, Toolsets, Attributes, Snapping, and Object Info. In snapping, make sure Snap to Object, Snap to Intersection, and Smart Points are turned on. Also, under Tools, Smart Cursor Settings, make sure that Show Smart Cursor Cues is enabled. Make sure that Layer Scale is turned on in the view bar, and then let's go ahead and put our drawing into 1/2" scale. Also in the view bar, let's set the plane mode to working plane only. More about that later. When I'm working in 3D, I usually like to keep the printable page boundary turned off. So let's go to File, Page Setup, and disable Show Page Boundary. You'll notice that the gray rectangle went away. With the page boundary turned off, now's a good time to tell you about the Fit to Page Area button. It's basically a home key. If you get lost in a drawing, you can always fit to page area to recenter on the origin. Finally, let's make a change to a general program setting. Open Vectorworks Preferences, click on the 3D tab, and make sure that under Render Mode when changing from top plan to 3D view, the setting is OpenGL, and Projection is set to Orthogonal. To make sure that all of these settings are available to you the next time you start a file, save this file as a template. Name it Your Default. Then, the next time you open a new file, choose Use Document Template and select your file, and it should open with all of the settings that we just made intact. This completes Part 1 setup. In Part 2, we'll start to explore the 3D side of Vectorworks.